My uncle told me that he does not have enough money to pay the guidance to bring me with the family cross river. So I have to go myself and try to cross the river myself, trying to see if I can find someone that I go there and get cross the river in cheap price. So the first time coming to the big city, and you don't even know what to do. So me and two of my cousin, which is my first cousin, we were young and we were together going to the river, and the river is so big. Never see that river is such big, and we won't be able to make any negotiation with the people that can bring you over. And we return back to the place that we left. And my uncle family, they already left. They are gone. So only me, my two cousins, we live together. But luckily, one of my relatives still there, and he did not make any transitioning that going to refugee camp, and we depend on the family. Then two of my cousins, their parents cross over to Thailand, and they work as a labor. They get some money, and they send money to my cousin, and my cousin also go after, except me. So I was left behind. And one day, my cousin, my relative, the family that we depend on, decided to escape to Thailand. But the family, they do have money and they do have enough money to escape to Thailand, except me. And I was worried that time, start to wonder what can I do if the family go and I'm along and I don't have any money. What can I do? Should I return or should I report myself to the communist officer? But I have a scary thinking that if I report myself to the communist soldier or officer, then they will not bring me back to my parents. They will just take me to different places and as a re-education camp or something like that. And I was thinking I won't have chance to meet my parents. So it even make me more scary. So I decided to speak up and ask one of the my relative's wife that if I could borrow their money and I moved to Thailand too. And she was so kind, and I don't know why, because now you never know that I will make it or not, right? But she was so nice and she lent me money. And a couple of days later, her husband asked me, why don't you go first? And if you have the opportunity to cross over, then that's a good chance for you. But somehow that you cannot make it to and you return, then you're still living here, then you get supported, you get food, get things. I decided to do that. So after our lunch, I paid one of the taxi to the morning market, asking what the taxi going to, which is the area where I'm supposed to cross the river. They call Tha Dua. Okay. And I said it, do you go Tha Dua? And no one tell me they don't go. And one person said, if you pay me 200 kip, then I take you to the car where it goes to Tha Dua. well, I have no choice. I pay him $200, 200 kip, and he took me to one of the taxi that goes to Tadia. And I don't really know is that true or it's not true. This is two women already in that taxi. It is understood that those two women will be the two women that they brought supplies selling in the morning market, and they are in the process of going back to Thailand. Then I was able to manage, I was able to get to that taxi, and I was sitting in the middle. So they sitting out. And there was a security gate to Tadia. They were very restricted, they guard very closely and very good. But by the time we got there and the officer looked at me, and to my understanding that he might think that I was one of those two women's children. So they just opened the gate and let us pass through. So yeah, and at the time that I was on the taxi with those two women, and one of the women asked me to escape to Thailand, and I said no. I just went there and play around and came back home. But maybe she noticed that I escaped to Thailand, and she did not say anything, but she said to come with me. So by the time we got there and we paid the taxi, one of the women already left to the border, and was that was the boat ram station, and one of the women was behind, and she asked, she said, "Go with me," she whispered, "Go with me." So we walked to the one of the open restaurant on the on higher level to the boat ramp, and I saw that woman coming down from the boat to the boat ramp, coming up here, and she whispered, "Go." Yeah, she whispered, and go, and I just go across and then go to the boat. That is the big boat. It's not the a paddle boat, but it's big boat, the motor boat, big one. I just got there and sitting in the back of the boat, and the boat is covered, the shade covered too. So they're loading things, and all the people coming in, and they pay money, and they started motor, and we just cross the Mekong for free. They didn't even, I don't even pay anything. And by the time we get to the Thailand side, and I go to the exchange money, and I get 1,000 kip exchange of 7 baht in Thai currency. And I thought that the small car like our car today was a taxi in Thailand, which is not true. In Laos at that time, yes. So they are different. And I asked one of the chauffeur, "Do you go to refugee camp?" He said no, and he yelled at me, and he said very bad at me. I go to ask the second person, he also said the same thing. And then I go to the third person, and he said, "You go to refugee camp Thailand? How much money you have?" And he dragged me to one of the private places, and "How much money you have?" Now I was scared. I thought myself that now I'm getting robbed. I got robbed this time, so I said, "I don't have any money. I only have 1 baht." He said, "You have only 1 baht? How could you get into a refugee camp?" And he grabbed in his pocket and he gave me 3 bahts. "Here's 3 baht. Maybe you can go to refugee camp." So he gave me 3 bahts. And the two guys that I asked earlier, they heard about that, so they they came to that and they asked, refugee camp is down there, and that person say, yes. So now it is my imagination that the two prior person I asked were the group of the people they do like guard inspection at the boat ramp crossover from Thai. But the third person I asked must be the manager or must be the chief leader of this group. And so they both said, in that case, why don't we take him down to a refugee camp? And the third person say, yeah, you can go ahead and take him. So that two come together and say, come on, get into the car, and get in his car, and we got a free ride from the boat ramp, which is the boat station, to refugee camp. But I wasn't still worried that I was robbed, because I'm not really sure until we drove to one of the higher spot and looking down into refugee camp. And then he said, now refugee camp is down there, you see that? So a lot of people walking back and forth, a lot of huge people down there. And then I was happy at that time. Now it's true that I was not robbed. So it's very hard story too. Yeah. When they dropped me in front of the security camp, the gate, then the security people, they don't even know that I'm a new person. So they thought I'm an old person. They're just walking back and forth, going shopping in the marketplaces, coming home or something like that. So they didn't even pay attention to me. And when I got there, I saw, because we do have a lot of people that escaped prior to. So I saw one of the cousins and I asked my uncle, and he said, oh, your uncle is right over there. I can take you there. So he took me to my uncle's place and was surprised to my uncle. Yeah. I left my parents behind to one of the village, and then also part of the, how you call the supply transportation base for the army and for the American too. So they said that as a supplier places, and I left my parents there. And after I left, then my parents escaped to different places, and they were not able to manage to come to the river, and they went back to far distance from the river. And my father had his I don't know, like a medication or something, and he was sick and he passed away. So later, when my relative and those people close by, they came and they also informed me about the situation and gave me the information where my father was died. And my mother, after my father passed away, because we have no one left behind with no sibling left behind with my parents, only one little brother. But after I left, my brother also had a bad diarrhea and he passed away. That's what I heard. And then just left two old, my parents, my father and my brother. And my mom went living with one of the extended relative until 1980. My father passed away in 1978, and then until 1982, my mother was brought by a team of people, the spy team, that they left from Laos to Thailand just for like secret information. So my mom came along with those group, and unluckily they got caught on their way the halfway of the journey, and they got shot by the communist soldier. So my mother was caught by the communists, and they took my mother to the army base for 2 days, and they killed her. Yeah, when my first came, that was the Carter's presidency, and the assistance is a lot more, and so there are more jobs at the time too. So people looking for a job, they can get a job right away. Like we like to make a joke that in Chicago at the time, if you're looking for a job, you need to pack your lunch, because you go find a job, then you get a job right away. They ask you to start right there. But during the Reagan's presidency, and then people lack of the job. People just line up like crazy for apply for unemployment. So there's no job, and they cut down the public assistance in the state of Illinois to very minimum. So my sister doesn't speak English. She also have transportation issue, and for that matter, that she may face obstacle in living situation. So I decided to go and help her in terms of transitioning those like transportation, in terms of taking her to place that she doesn't speak English. She had a hard time, and her kids also little at that time. One is about 6 and one is about 2, and she had a newborn in Chicago, so they're very young. And my plan is that I go to Fresno and to go help her, and also go to school part-time, which is I went to part-time in City College at the same time that I work, and I work for Lao Family, and also go to school part-time too. For resettlement as a worker, I feel confident in working in that area, because helping people, following up with people's living, and also monitoring their living when they first arrival, which is almost happened. Like I helped my sister. We have the plan that we go greet them in the airport, and they do have their co-sponsor take them home, and then we'll help them to find a place, and in about a week we'll give them a time to rest, and we invite them to the office, and we try to provide the cultural orientation, and we give them some sort of like cash grant for them to start their food, shelter, things like that. And then we make a plan to visit them at home or find them a place. And also some of the agency, they provide them with clothing, but we don't provide clothing because we think that we give them cash assistance and they get the cash better than they get the clothes. It is my guess that we are talking particularly in refugee in Ban Vinai coming to this country in the 1986, 87, 88 projection. At that time, about 50% of the refugee resettled in this country come to California, and 50% of the people come to California come to our agency. Yeah.